A recent survey of middle school students found that 1 of 4 students like country music. I'm going to focus on the country music column, and you can be in charge of the rest. If 1 of 4 students likes country music, that means the total of the students is 4. I can set up a proportion with the total being 60 and figure out how many students prefer country music if the total is 60. I'm going to need to work up, which means I multiply. I can work backwards and take 60 divided by 4 is 15. So 4 times 15 gives me 60. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the top. 1 times 15 gives me 15. So my answer to put in my column is also 15. Okay, next I'm going to use a total of 120 students. So I have my 1 out of every 4. Now my total is 120. I'm trying to figure out how many students of the 120 like country music. I'm working up from 4 to 120, so I'm going to multiply. I can work backwards to find out 120 divided by 4 gives me 30, or 4 times 30 gives me 120. Do the same thing to the top. 1 times 30 gives me 30. Okay, next, my total number of students is 180. I set up a proportion with my base being 1 over 4. New total is 180. Scaling up, so I multiply. I found out that 4 times 45 is 180, and 1 times 45 is also 45. And then the last one, I'm doing a total of 240 students. Again, I start with my base of 1/4, set up my proportion, this time with a total of 240 students. When I work up from 4, I multiply by 60. If I multiply the top by 60, 1 times 60 gives me 60, and that's the number I put in my table. So you go ahead with your group and use 1 out of every 3 students like rock music, put your answers in the rock column. 1 out of every 5 students like hip-hop, put your answers in the hip-hop column. And then try the rest with no preference and put the answers in the no preference column. Once you have all your answers in your table filled out, you can go ahead and press play. These are the answers that you should have found and put into your graph. If your group did not get these answers, you need to go back and rework your problems to figure out what you did wrong. Next, you need to complete problems 3, 4, and 5 on page 69. And when you're ready to move on to problem 2 on page 70, push play. Number 1 says complete the graph to show the relationship between the total number of students and those students who prefer country music using the information you completed in problem 1. The problem one they're talking about is number 4 on page 69. As you look at the table from number 4, you want to find the total number of students, go across the bottom, and then do how many prefer country music up. So if there are 600 total students, you need to go up to 150, which is just below 160, and make your dot. For the next one, there are 1,200 students, and 300 of them like country music. And keep going up in the same fashion. So for the next one, 1,800 total students, 450 like country. You and your table need to finish this chart and then do the rest on page 71.